Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. So, it's Monday night, like the 21st of December, I think. Let me see. Well, no, it's not November 4. Wish it was. We go back and redo the election. We'll get to that in a second. So here it is. I'm not happy. I am very, very unhappy. I'm upset. This country is despicable. The people and what they're doing, how they're behaving, how this government's behaving, how they're treating the small people. It's ridiculous. And then how people are treating people who are struggling. That's another thing. First-hand experience right here, me. I'm trying to pull out of it. I'm trying to get back on my feet, do the right thing, pay my bills, get treated like I'm scum of the earth. Been getting some of that here recently. We'll get there. But first off, we're going to touch on one of the things I'm really, really, really upset about. And that is social distancing and masks. We gotta save lives, so we gotta social distance. Gotta wear masks. We gotta save these lives. People are so important. We got to save them. Glenn Beck released a video, and I don't remember when it was posted. I came across it Thursday of last week. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. It had to have been Thursday because it was still tearing me up on Friday. It could have been Wednesday, though. I don't know. Memory's a little shot out, you know, brain injury deal. However, what I do know, because it stands out to me because it's a small business thing, and I'm a small business guy. Little 6th grade education we have in here, you know, he managed to build a small little dynasty that hit the, what they call that, the 6 figures when you get into the, over the 100,000 mark. I was up into the quarter parts of the 6 figures for a moment. And then now I'm back down to nothing, but I can get there again. Anyways, he was talking about how this virus it slowly eats you away and kills you or something like that. And he was referring to how it's slowly killing the small businesses away and running them in the ground. And people are struggling to survive. Small business owners are doing what they can. Or are they making it? How are they surviving? How are they doing? I'm trying to talk about my story. I'm a fighter. This isn't the first time I've had to fight to survive for my business. You know, I mean, it seems like I've been doing that for the last 4 years. But what I'm mad about, what I'm pissed about, is when it comes to the point to where, excuse me, I ate something that came up. Apologize. When it's so bad, when the stress is so bad, when it's on them so hard, and nobody cares because they're too worried about the stupid virus and their mask and their social distancing and how many people are gathering together, that this person goes and kills themselves. Well, they got 2 little children because they can't handle their business that failed, that was like the #1 bakery prior to that. But she can't handle the fact that her business has now failed, the stress of it all, and what's going on, and so now she has killed herself. Left 2 children behind. I haven't been able to do much more research into it than what Glenn Beck shared because I've had my own issues to deal with of being treated unfairly because of my struggles. However, it still hit home. And it still hurts to know that a fellow small business owner felt they had to take their own life because they couldn't handle the struggles. And here's another thing. You remember there was money set aside in the first stimulus package last summer to help small business owners who were struggling. Guess who got it? the big business owners, the big corporations that didn't need money. They sucked it all up. Us small business owners, we didn't get a dime. We didn't get nothing. No help at all. Some of us might have gotten a PPE, the payroll protection thing. I didn't get that. Yeah, I probably should have. I mean, I didn't have employees, but I mean, I'm an employee of my own business, so I didn't get it. I didn't know how to file for it. Couldn't figure it out. I don't know if she got it, but you know, that ain't much. You know, especially if you're your own employee. And you know, there was some other loan opportunities you could apply for, but if your credit was bad because your business is failing, then I ain't gonna help you out anyways. So here's the deal. So there was no help, nothing for us, and the other people that sucked it all up, whether they just got rich off of it. Government didn't do anything. They didn't fix it. They didn't go after them. They didn't change anything. So no one cares. And then what they did is they shut down to where the power companies can't turn your power off, and the water company can't turn your water off, and they can't kick you out of your place because you aren't making any money. And then without any way, any plan on how to keep them from doing it immediately when they let loose, they just all of a sudden lifted it all. And guess what? You know, power companies came and shut power off. Water companies came and shut water off. I mean, they just came and shut everybody down. And you know, if you're behind, you're behind. I got behind because I hit my head on Easter Sunday, and you know, I mean, you almost die from something like that, and you have to rebuild yourself. So my issue actually wasn't really coronavirus. It just kind of played all along with coronavirus. But here's the deal, though. I'm pissed because they don't care. They care more about, they act like they care. So they act like they care, but they don't. So they act like they care because social distancing, wear a mask, save lives. But in the back end of it, they don't care because they're shutting businesses down. They're telling people to go home and alienate. So a kid up north on the east end of the coast goes and kills himself because he can't handle the isolation. And these are just a couple of that I know. I honestly try not to listen to the news anymore because it's just horrible. And so I get worked up. And because of the head injury, I get like this. And so it's like, you know, I gotta stay out of it. You know, I need to focus on my own healing. I need to focus on my own, get my business out of the ground and back on the road again. And so I needed to keep my head clear and on track. And so I stay away from all of that. Well, the last week, half week or whatever, I have been not just running equipment because we've had some rain. So I've been doing repairs and maintenance and chasing after things, trying to get some of my equipment back on track, get it back from things. And I've had to deal with the world, basically. I can't just go to my little isolation where I'm finishing off a subdivision and where no one bothers me, and I'm in La La Land, I guess you could say. I can just forget about what's happening to the rest of everything, and I'm good. You know, I have to deal with the world, and the world is full of a bunch of people who don't care, and their pains. And I had my son with me today, running around, and people don't know how to drive. I forgot about that. People don't know how to drive, and everyone is selfish. They only care about themselves. So anyways, back onto this. So they care only in the sense that they want to tell you the social distance, they want to tell you to wear a mask, and they want to tell you how to get in a line, huddle together only in groups of 6, yada, yada, yada. But when it comes to shutting your business down, putting you massively in debt that you can't pay it, or you're already in debt, but putting it so you can't pay it because they shut your business down, and then putting you in a position where, like this lady, felt like she had nothing left to do but then kill herself. She left behind 2 kids that now their only memory of the coronavirus is going to be, oh yeah, our mom killed herself because she couldn't handle it. And this is just 2 stories out of, I'm sure, a lot of them. And I mean, that really hit home to me. That just, oh man, that just was terrible. So, I heard that Thursday night. Friday morning, I find out that my skid steer, that Kubota attempted to repo it. Now, ironically, they took it to the Kubota dealership here locally, which is where I was taking it anyways when I picked it up. I was trying to get it picked up. But what happened is the mechanic that was working on it called Kubota, and I think he lied to them about what was going on with it. And I'm not sure really what happened. Anyways, somehow Kubota got it in their head that they thought they could repo it. I don't know how, because it was protected by the bankruptcy that I filed back in September. Anyways, they say they attempted to try to repo it and deliver it to the dealership that I was going to take it to, that I had already been talking to about doing work on it. So, after being on the phone from 7 o'clock in the morning making phone calls until literally 5 o'clock that evening, and the last phone call, everything was going good. I got everything straightened out. Everyone figured out that no, there is a bankruptcy in place to protect that thing, that they could not take it, but it's okay because it's where I want it. So let's just get everybody on board to know that it's mine, thing. So we get all that straightened out, and at like 4:30 Friday, my attorney's office calls me and says, Kubota called us. They got it all figured out, and they claim they didn't get informed that I filed, but whatever. And that they were gonna do a thing to get their hand in on the money, and I think we even sent them a payment already to starting the bankruptcy. So I don't know. Anyways, and they're releasing the machine like they had to because they weren't supposed to have it anyways. And everything was good. I'm like, all right, cool. We got it handled now. The dealership that I called and try to talk to someone at like noon, then calls me back. That might have been at like 4 or something. And they might have called me back at like 4:45 or something like that. This guy, I don't know who he was, but someone like in their service department or something. Because I'm trying to get the thing lined up to get worked on because we need it back pretty bad. So I'm trying to get it fixed. And he calls me up, and he doesn't know anything. He's the last person. He goes, it is repoed, and it is locked up. We are not working on it. We aren't doing anything. It isn't to be touched. You can't have it, blah, 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 until the... Because he called me up, and I said, oh, yeah. He says, don't worry about it, man. We got it all worked out. Kubota Credits talked to my attorney, and they realized that it was all just a misunderstanding, and they released it, and next week we can look into getting working on it. And he went into his thing, no, but it's locked up, you can't take it, blah, 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 blah. And I said, bull crap. Just watch me. I'll come down with my paperwork. I'll take it away tonight, and I'll bring it back on Monday. Anyways, he really got me going bad. And then we decided, we'll just make a long story short, I was about ready to take it out of there and have them not work on it. But someone in their higher up office I got on the phone with her, and it got me calmed down, and so I didn't. So then I go home, or was I already home with that phone call? I don't know. Something happens to where I leave the house and I come back to the house. It's dark, and I realize now I haven't had power to the house since the beginning of October, and I've been running generators. I have it where I can plug the generator into the house, and the generator gave out, and so only one cylinder works, so it can't run the 220 stuff, but it runs lights, and as long as I feed it gas, it'll go, But I noticed that my outside light, the big light that shines on the parking lot, it's been giving me trouble, and it was off again. And so I was like, well, I'll call the power board, and I'll find out what's going on with that, because I know they don't cut that when they come cut my power off, because that means they'd have to run up, because I'm supposed to pay for it, but if they cut it, it's not on a meter, but if they cut it, they got to run up there in a bucket truck every time and cut it. Like it's hardwired in. So I call and I tell the low person on the totem pole, but I'm beat. So like my emotional status